Hello, boys and girls. Today, Mr. Paust here. You are home doing an asynchronous day. I'm here doing professional development, learning a lot, and I have a great story for you today. It is Montague on the High Seas. Okay, it's a story about a little mouse, and it's by John Himmelman. Okay, Montague on the High Seas, and he has quite the adventure. As you know, illustrations can tell us so much. You can see Montague in his bed beneath the ground. Looks like there's a cricket there as well, and a caterpillar. Just sleeping as we do as well. In a cozy hole by the sea, there lived a young mole. Oh, he's a mole. My apologies, not a mouse. His name was Montague. Montague loved his home. It was cool in the afternoons and warm in the evenings. One day it began to rain. Soon the rain was coming down in buckets. By evening, Montague's home was flooded. He had to find a safe place to spend the night. Montague swam and swam until at last he noticed a funny-looking house, propped up on a rock. He was so tired that he fell into a deep sleep. As soon as he crawled inside, Montague woke up rested and warm. It was a few moments before that he realized he had been swept out to sea. Poor Montague drifted for days with nothing to drink except lime soda and nothing to eat but seaweed. He grew lonely and bored, and he grew lonely and bored, and he stared at the horizon day after day. Then one morning he noticed a dark shadow beneath him. Suddenly he was thrown into the air by a giant humpback whale. Montague clung to the bottle as it slowly filled with water and sank. Oh no. You can kind of predict what's going to happen to Montague. A passing fish spotted an interesting meal, swallowed the bottle, mole and all. Before Montague knew what was happening, the fish was yanked up by a huge net. Montague and the bottle fell out of its mouth and onto the deck of the ship. Montague looked up half-dazed and saw a giant sailor looming over him. He was holding a giant cat. The cat leaped after him, but Montague scuttled into a hole. Safe, at last, he thought. What a funny-looking mouse, said a voice beside him. Huh. Montague was surrounded by mice. What were you doing out there? Asked one nervously. Don't you know that barnacles? The cat is trying to clear us all off this ship? Montague began to tell them how he came to the ship. He told of battling raging seas, riding giant whales, fighting off mole-eating fish, and he told them of the crash of his bottle ship. Just as he was coming to the end of his story, Montague fell off his perch and knocked over a box of kitchen supplies. When things settled down, the mice cheered. Montague had given them an idea. The mice scurried in every direction, collecting bits of cloth, rags, and other supplies. Even Montague got caught up in the fun. Oh, they're up to something. There's barnacles. Huh. They all worked together, and soon their fleet was launched. The mice elected Montague their captain. As they glided over the sea, he began to enjoy the thrill of guiding the ships through the waves. In a few days, one of the mice shouted, "Land ho!" When they were safely ashore, the mice carried Montague on their shoulders. They asked him to live with them, and happily accepted. They started building their homes right away. Montague loved his new home. It was cool in the afternoons and warm in the evenings, and now he had lots of friendly neighbors. And if he ever felt the pull of the high seas, he still had his bottle and his sail. And they give us a little bit about the author here, John Himmelman. It says John Himmelman gets the ideas for his stories from the pictures he draws of characters like Montague. The pictures help him to decide what a character will do in a story. A story is just a story, but the characters become very real to me, he says. When he's not creating children's books, John Himmelman likes to play the guitar. Sounds like a pretty cool author. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Again, if you want to revisit it, it'll be here on my Google Classroom. All right, boys and girls, see you soon.